Hello everybody, in this video we're going to do our what we call getting started. So what we've done now, you're at a point where you've downloaded Ark Zen from the website. Okay, you have that and you've done the little restructuring to put the folders in place, and now you're ready to go. So now you're ready to start the item. So on your C drive, presumably it can be somewhere else, you'll have Ark Zen. Okay, and then here we have our folder structure. So data is where we house our working data files. We have data files in there. So for example, down here we have these guys here sitting here, and we have those files. Okay, Mercury is our comms program. So this is a Python exe file that is responsible for communicating with the cloud. So that sits over there. We've got Phoebe. Now Phoebe houses our two application files. There's two application files, dev capture and Phoebe capture. This is our development system, so say dev capture, but in on your version it will say Ark capture and Ark Phoebe. Okay, that's the actual released version. Okay, and then we come back to here. We have where we just sundry. This is where we put various little things can go in there at points in time. This is our bank. We have a bank extract that we'll discuss when we capture that particular item. Okay, and then finally we have the system, and we have what we call our system files. These are access files that house various things like menus and various other items that we need, that we make use of in terms of when we run the program. So that's the layout of the folder structure. Okay, but for your purposes, the important thing here is in Phoebe we have these two items, capture and Phoebe. Now if you look down here on my Excel, I've got them. There's dev Phoebe and dev capture, and if you're using this on a regular basis, they will obviously come up, and I suggest that you pin them, and then it's very easy to go. Now, capture is the input side of the items. We capture all these things in little mini batches and feed them through to the population. If you've looked at our system on how the entire principles of Ark Zen work, what we do is we have this great big set of population, one database, okay, one unified database, and we have to feed this during the course of the year. You're feeding this database with transactions as the transactions happen, and there are different ways in which transactions come about. They can be imported, like with banking. They can be generated, like with invoices, for example. They can be captured with expenses, and there are different ways of doing it. Payroll would be a computation, a generation. So the different ways of actually obtaining the transactions that you require for this item, and all of that happens through the capture book. On the Phoebe side, we do all the input. This is where you press F10, you run it, it does all the output in under 10 seconds, and then we've got the journals, we've got all the items like tax comps and VAT comps and everything that you actually need there. And after that, everything is instant. You can just click and go and visit it. So those two actually control everything. Now on the Phoebe side, we've got a lot of other videos and things that we're going to look at. So we'll leave dev Phoebe for this one and just get you to start on the capture book. So what I would do, I'm going to actually open it from here, and I'm going to go to dev capture. Okay. Okay, so when you come into the system, it comes up with a splash screen just giving you a welcome, say welcome. It reminds you to go and look at all the videos, because they will. You need to look at videos like navigation and interrogation, so you've got a feel for how to steer around the system, okay, in terms of how you do it. And that's just there. There we click on here. Now, what we do here, we're taken to contact information. So we just want you, before you carry on with the demonstration, just to give us some contact information. And this is itself a mini app. This is the first of the mini apps that we're actually looking at, and this is the style that they have. Okay, so now I'm going to right click here. Okay, and this is what I have to deal with. Okay, so we've pre-populated this. You would actually populate this yourself. Okay, this column will come up blank, but for speed we pre-populated it, so that's what we have. Okay, we could change it to Roger Federer. Okay, if you wanted, for example, something like that. So we do it like that, and now we're ready to commit. Now here we have this little orange cell, top left cell, and when I right click on that, that is a submission to the cloud. We put it in that color, and you right click there, and the data gets submitted to the cloud. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to click there and then click here. contact information submitted, thank you. So you've got that, and it just returns the information. And that's all there is in terms of giving us your contact information, and now you're free to carry on. Now, to move around the capture book, we switch from one mini app to another mini app, and we do that by right-clicking over here. If I come over here and right-click, okay, and it comes up, select a mini app, and you can go through this. We've still got a few more that we want to add on. By the time we've done this, we'll actually have 2 panels. We'll have 2 of these with all the different mini apps that we have. But if I want to go to banking, for example, I can go there. Then I click here, and I can go to supply invoice. I can click here. I can go to expenses, and that's how we would move around the system. Okay, and then that's all there is to it. And then when you're finished, you just close out on this thing. So that is how the system works. We'll go into each of the mini apps now in more detail. There'll be a separate video on each one that we want to do as part of the evaluation. Because what we're going to say now is you go to the evaluation system, and on the evaluation system you can generate your own data. We'll show you how to generate data and how it impacts on the actual accounts. And you can see this one-to-one correspondence as you develop a little mini batch in the capture book. Then it comes across to Phoebe, and you can see it gets processed and updates all the accounts. Thanks very much.